path to the bench was I was appointed in January of 2016. I took office February the 1st. I was a private practitioner here in the Cherokee Judicial Circuit, both in Bartow and Gordon County. Had a general practice law firm. I did a lot of domestic relations, did other things, real estate, wills, etc. I had been the attorney for DFACS, the SAG for DFACS in Gordon County back in the 1990s. Done a lot of juvenile court work before becoming the SAG. I did some juvenile court work afterwards, but I was appointed as the SAG to represent child support recovery in 2010. So as a result of that, I really did not do much work in juvenile court from 2010 up until my appointment. But I practiced law by myself and with other people for around 25 years before taking the bench. Judge Tilley, who had served for 16 years, retired effective February of 2016, so I applied for that position when it was open. The other thing about the path to the bench I think is interesting. There are a lot of judges who I really like and respect who spent their whole career in child welfare and have done nothing but child welfare, and I think they're great judges. There is an attitude among some people that think that only people with a background in child welfare should be juvenile court judges. I do disagree with that. I think it is important to have that as part of your background, to have done some area in the work, but I also know a lot of judges who had varied practices before being appointed, and they're excellent judges. So personally, in my own opinion, I think it's helpful to have a broad array of experience before becoming any kind of judge. You don't necessarily have to be a trial lawyer to be a Superior Court judge, but it certainly helps. But if you also have a broad range of experience, that's also a helpful thing too. I will say, of course, it's a great feeling when you do have a good result. Now, the definition of a good result sort of changes over the years. You expect families and parents that you work with to suddenly adopt what you think is the right view for what the good life is. And if that's how you judge a good result, it frequently is not going to happen, because we're dealing with a cross-section of society that has different opinions about things, different views about things, about what's important or not. I consider a good result to be whenever the issue that has brought the children into court has been resolved and the family's back together. I think one thing that's been clear to me since I became a judge is how important it is for the children to be with their families. I think it's often said by people at seminars and conferences, children don't want better families, they want their families to be better. And I think that is really true. So it is a good feeling when you do have that good result where families are reunified, where children do go back to parents. And it's even a better feeling when that is maintained and they do not come back to court later. But that's certainly good. But frankly, the most enjoyable feature is really kind of selfish on my part. The thing I enjoy the most is the interaction I've had with the other juvenile court judges. There's a great bunch of people that serve as juvenile court judges. I think we get unfairly maligned sometimes, or there's a lack of appreciation for what a lot of us do. In my experience, I am surrounded by very committed, hard-working, smart, capable people that take their jobs very seriously and work really hard to try to do the right things for the children and the families that are in the courts. But I've really enjoyed getting to know my fellow judges. The staff of the Council of Juvenile Court Judges is excellent. Made a lot of new friends since 2016. I enjoy meeting with them, seeing them, talking with them. We talk a lot with each other and a lot about child welfare. There's a lot of business talk when we're talking, but I find that very enjoyable. And like I say, I've met a lot of good people. I look forward to going to the conferences. I look forward to seeing my colleagues. That's just an outstanding part of the job, I think. Well, I think we have a very strong organization with the Council of Juvenile Court Judges. Eric John has provided good leadership for the council for the last 30 or so years. It's sort of hard to have much of an impact just when you're president, because you're just there 1 year. Now, you can have some impact as the incoming president and as the outgoing president, but you just have that 1 year. What I would really like to do is try to work toward building or improving the relationships that juvenile court judges has with the members of the General Assembly, with the state leadership, the governor's office, whoever it may be. I think that's important, to build those bridges, to let them know that, the juvenile court judges, the council is here to help. We all have an interest in improving the child welfare system. We're here to provide assistance, to provide information, because again, a lot of people just don't really realize what goes on in juvenile court and what issues we face and what stresses we face as far as the system itself goes. So we're always want everyone to know that we serve as a resource for providing that information. I want to strengthen the relationship the council has with other agencies that are also interested in child welfare. We have to know our role. The judges, we're not partners with anybody. Our job is to apply the law but not to try the cases. We're not social workers, but I think a lot of these agencies, a lot of these child welfare groups have a lot of good information, a lot of support they can offer to the judges. I would like to strengthen those relationships as well. I also hope to strengthen our relationship with the department leaderships, so we can offer our ideas about how the system can be improved, and we can also hear back from them the challenges they face. That shouldn't affect what we do on a day-to-day basis, because again, we have to judge them and they are a party litigant in our cases. But I do think it's helpful if we have a productive relationship as opposed to one that's filled with hostility. I think juvenile court judges by and large are probably I'm not going to say we're the best trained, because I don't know what anyone else has, but I'd be shocked to know that anyone is better trained than we are. My reading ability has been greatly diminished by the internet, because I'm just used to reading short things, and I read a lot of articles and read newspapers and magazines. So I don't really read many books. It's been a while since I've really sat down and read a book for a prolonged period of time. I do watch a lot of television and shows. I just finished Fargo, that was great. The Bear on FX was just a wonderful series. I like any kind of show that sort of focuses on real people and their problems, and admire people that have challenges that they overcome. That was a really good show. Atlanta is another show that was on FX. It was outstanding. I like watching movies. I get hooked into Netflix and Hulu and go down the rabbit holes many times, many nights, watching things like that. I do like investigative articles. I like articles about politics. I like reading articles about child welfare and experiences that people have had in the child welfare system. I do think it's good to sort of read the experiences of parents that have been through the system. I think by and large, the judges I know are very empathetic toward parents, but it's easy sort of to forget the position they're coming from. I think the more we know about them and their perspective, the better able we will be to make sure they receive the right services that they need.